Right, on the three-quarter show, once again we are back with another game of Citation Needed, hosted by Ellis, as Leighton Moreland is still absent in Season 3.5. Join us as we hear about more wacky bridges in New England. Let's go to the studio.
Oh, come on, hasn't even started yet.
It begins with rhymes. What's up, guys? This is Heis. We are again back. Surprise! We didn't know last episode, neither did you, but now you know because we're here and you're watching this that we have a second episode of Season 3.5. Welcome to Season 3.5. Episode 2 of the three-quarter, actually one half of an idiot, but honorary three-quarters of an idiot show. I'm your host, Mark Huber, aka Heis, the Birdman, the person, the Led Zeppelin man, all these things. Catty corner, kitty corner, depending on which part of the states you're from me, is Brett Wiebold, the man, the myth, the Lego train legend.
If three-quarters, but a half, but it's the second half.
Stop doing the math, it's gonna hurt. We look up things in tables, that's why we're engineers. Don't do the math.
Okay.
Quarter. Leighton's gone, so no quarter, but Ellis here, so yes, quarter.
Yay!
Hi,
Yeah.
you're not Leighton.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So
I'm still not Leighton.
Yeah,
As it turns out.
he's still not Leighton Moreland. It's Ellis!
Hi!
Yes!
We're back with another one. Hoosick Tunnel was too depressing, so I have another bridge instead.
Yes, we have another bridge to talk about. Hopefully this one won't go on a bloodthirsty bridge-killing spree. And again, we do have our friends behind the camera who have limes, and there's a tactical lime nuke even at the ready that was constructed in the midst of last episode. So all sorts of things to come therein. But of course, Brett, Ellis, and myself make three-quarters of an idiot, Ellis being the honorary quarter of an idiot. But we're always in search of that final piece, that last quarter of an idiot to make us whole. And on this day,
We have found our hole.
we have found our whole. Ladies and gentlemen,
Not my hole!
Is it a nice hole?
we have not found his hole, but we have found our hole 4 of 4.
He's a hole.
He is a hole. And he loves Van Halen, and he knows more about Van Halen than anybody else. Jersey!
Timmy Turner, 100 years aboard the Dutchman. Will ye serve?
I'm a little scared.
I'm not sure when Jurgen von Strangle became first mate on the Dutchman, and I don't want to know why.
Oh.
Today we're playing Citation Needed, and once again Ellis has a wonderful story to guide us through. He's going to make us guess through the details, and whoever gets a point, or whoever gets a thing right, is going to get a point, and I will add in a ding and a thing and a score tally, because nobody other than me wants to do that live, and so I just get to have even more fun editing these episodes.
Hey, Mark! There's something funny right here again!
These episodes already take more hours to edit than literally anything else that I do. But you guys love them, so thank you for loving them, and tell me that you love them, because gosh, nobody actually watches these
Oh, man.
compared to other things on the channel. But they're a hell of a lot of fun, so we're gonna have a hell of a lot of fun. Ellis, tell us the story.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the Flying Dutchman because this story begins on, well, what is the Flying Dutchman sail on exactly?
The Caribbean,
Okay, think smaller.
the sea,
Smaller.
the lake.
Lake Champlain.
Okay.
I was just waiting to go down random nautical words until we got to pond or bubble.
No, this is a story set on Lake Champlain in upstate New York on the, well, I guess it would be the upstate New York and Vermont state boundary.
Wait, Lake Champlain? Mm-hmm. Oh no.
New Haven! New Haven!
No, there's no New Haven there anymore.
At the very north end of Lake Champlain, there's a place called Rouse's Point, and it was first bridged in 1851.
He likes bridges.
I do.
Bridges.
I am a civil engineer. I do like bridges.
It's very sick.
Lamp oil rope bridges.
It is first bridged by a movable structure of sorts. What could it possibly be?
1851 movable structure.
A boat?
It's a boat.
Oh,
That's not a structure.
bridge.
Classify it as a
That is a
movable
vehicle.
You're gonna need to explain that to 2 railroads coming up, because the
2?
Yes, because the which one was it? It was the Vermont Central. Was the first
it's the Canadians.
to build across
Yeah, Canucks.
the northern end of Lake Champlain, and they used a barge with track light on it to meet the two ends of the trestle with this thing in the middle, and it had a little steam donkey in it, and it would pull itself out of the way with a chain when the boats needed to go by, because the court said you can't put a bridge there because we're worried about the boats being able to make it around.
Okay.
a
So
swivel
it's
span.
two really long piers.
So
Yeah,
it
wing
is
bridge.
So it is technically a bridge, but the middle bit is a
It floats.
is a boat that can. Okay.
You've been on the Seattle floating
So-
highway, right?
Yeah. Well,
Same
yeah.
principle.
Yeah.
What is wrong with them?
Yes.
The
Yes, but
freaks.
actually no.
This thing today I learned it has a special name. It is called a draw boat. Because
What?
because it was prevalent enough to get its own name. So
Somebody scurry the boat out of
Are
the way.
you sure this
the
wasn't
boat's
the
gotta
New
get out of the way
Haven?
for the
I
other
am sure.
boats.
This was not the New Haven. This
No.
was not something that those freaks thought up.
no, this is the Rutland and the Vermont Central. We're sort of in a race.
The
to get to
Rutland?
We'll get to them. We're in a race to get to the other side of the lake, to get to the west side of the lake, the New York side. Because then you can get to major Canadian cities, and there's also a steel mill on the west side of the lake.
Oh, that's money.
Exactly. And the Vermont Central builds this draw boat at the north end of the lake. They eventually replace it with a swing bridge.
Build a draw boat, sail a draw boat, launch a draw boat.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
How does the launching go? Poorly.
We will get to that.
Oh, I hate it when I'm right.
So the DNH is also on the other side of the lake, which is a
We
nice
don't like
connection.
We don't like-
Oh, I
we
love
don't
the
DNH.
DNH.
No.
No.
DNH is
Look
great.
at any of their locomotives.
They are
Literally any of
beautiful,
no.
wonderful pieces
No.
of machinery.
Terrible.
Yes.
No.
They're the only railroad that I will admit has worse steam
Fuck
locomotives
that
than
man.
the New Haven.
Sorry.
The DNH are the gods of style, good or bad.
No, they aren't, you freak.
I'm with Jersey on this one.
It's okay. It's
But
it's a shame
look
to
on
be
the bright
wrong,
side. The
though.
DNH did give us one thing in modern culture.
Polar Express headlight PNG.
Yeah. The light. The Rutland was in a disadvantaged position because the Vermont Central beat them across the lake. So,
Via boat.
via boat.
Boat.
So they realize we need to do something to get ourselves in a better negotiating position with the Vermont Central. Or we're going to have a really bad time. Unfortunately, no, they don't blow up the boat. What do they do?
Sink the bridge?
No. Think less
They
destructive.
did that already.
We'll get to that.
Sinking bridges was last time. Or this time too. Came up with trade negotiation, trackage rights kind of vibe.
No, they build their own.
Oh.
They go. They go to the.
We're gonna make our own boat with boats and boats.
Yeah. They go down to about the midpoint of the lake.
tracks.
There's a place called Larrabee's Point. It's just south of Port Henry. It's right across the way from the DNH. And
Ew.
it's a pretty narrow place. There's actually a cable-drawn ferry to this day, like right above, just to the north of them, I believe. And so they say, we're going to build our own barge bridge with blackjack and hookers. They
You said the thing.
Yep. The court tells them you cannot put in a span. You can't block 300 feet of channel, and so they can.
We can make 300 feet a boat.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, come on. No. They did it again.
Yeah. So
They did it again.
the Rutland and their weird. The Rutland and water have a really strange relationship. If you've ever seen their causeways.
I already love the Rutland. Please
Yeah.
make me love them more.
So what?
What an odd and cryptic way to put that.
I don't know how else to put it. So they come in, they build this railroad called the Addison Railroad, or later the Addison Branch, from their main line to the east side of the lake. They build a little pier on the lake. They build a little pier on the other side of the lake in a Y. And then they go to Burlington to build and launch a 301 foot long by 30 foot long barge with tracks on it.
God.
301 foot long.
Yeah, because they said they couldn't.
So they gave him 6 inches of confidence on either side.
That's what it's beached by. That's your rebuttal.
Just in case the government had a 301 foot long tape measure.
I don't know. I think this isn't quite up to scratch.
Yeah,
I would love to see the tickets for this line. Just like, if your train begins to sink, begin paddling.
In event of water landing, your sea cushion can be used as a flotation device.
So they build this thing in
They're made
Burlington.
of wood.
Then they go to launch it. How does it go?
Poorly.
Poorly, that's right. Because it won't launch.
Because
they
it's
can't,
very long, you can't do the thing
Yeah.
and the float and the thing and the thing. Yeah.
they can't get it off the stocks. By the way, it's 1871 for reference. It's 20 years after the first bridge.
Montezuma has entered service on the Rio Grande, and the people in the East are like, 300-foot long bridge!
The engineers go out to sort of try to figure out why it won't come off the stocks.
Get me the engineers!
It's bold calling these people engineers.
It's pouring out, everyone's like huddled inside, and suddenly I presume they hear a noise, and it just goes on its own. It goes
the way to do it.
into the water,
And then boat.
Yep. They
And then boat.
they get a tug, they moor it down, they get it in position. This one it's in position for, let's see, a couple months. And until they realize, well, what do you think happens there? A train is going across the bridge and
boat bridge and loading thing, and then like a floaty thing.
Oh,
and then it's very long,
it
so
goes that
moment, so it
way.
tries
Yeah.
to sink.
yes, it tries to sink. And
This is the first train they've put over.
this is not the first train that's put over. It's been in service for months at this point.
Heavy train.
But one end of it starts to go down, and the train just slams into the pier at the end.
Well, bam! And then they derailed the bridge.
Yeah, well, the train then, like, as far as I can tell by the report, it sort of fell onto the barge part of the bridge, and then they were able to salvage it and get it up and, whatever. There was another problem with this, there was another problem with this bridge. Can you imagine what it is on a long and narrow lake?
Damn.
Wind.
Wind?
Yeah.
Wind.
Oh, I thought it would dam up and it's
Choppy,
like...
boaty, try to...
Not even that. The wind gets so strong that the little
Oh.
steam donkey can't pull the chain hard enough to open or close the bridge, depending on which way the wind is blowing.
Any way the wind blows, yes, it really matters.
To me.
To the bridge.
And
To the bridge.
so the mail train is coming along. The mail train's coming up to the bridge, and the bridge can't close.
Oh no.
And
Whee! Into the drink.
no, it made the Western Mail exactly 6 hours late.
Oh my god.
It's better than your Amtrak.
Yeah.
Alan! We can get there soon!
So that was incident number 2. What does incident number 3 involve?
Do we finally get a train that sinks?
We'll get to that.
Oh boy.
Oh god!
I was gonna say, it's gotta come.
It's coming at
The
some point.
barge sinks.
The barge sinks later. No.
Whatever we die.
What else is
We derail on the barge.
What else is on the lake?
Boats.
Boats.
Does a boat crash into the bridge?
Boats online!
No, actually, two boats crash into each other while trying to get through the 300-foot wide gap.
Build a bridge on top of it.
Yeah. So a schooner and a canal boat get into a fight. Who wins?
The bigger boat.
I would, yeah.
Schooner.
Not the schooner. The canal boat wins. The schooner goes down immediately. It gets hit by this canal boat and just boom, into the lake.
Bye-bye.
Then what happens to the schooner?
Then it sinks.
Well, it has already sunk. Then what?
Then it gets run over by the bridge.
No, not quite.
I like to picture it's just sitting there with the masts like still poking out of the water. It just goes.
You were telling me about something earlier that is related to this. You have a sunken boat. What are your options?
Fill it full of ping pong balls.
To raise it up.
And raise it up. So
Oh,
they
no.
raised the schooner up, and it went back into service.
Okay.
Which is going to become a theme.
Happy ending.
It goes back into service.
goes back
is
into
going to be
service,
a
yeah.
theme.
Yeah.
How deep is this lake here?
That's a really good question. I had maps in the 74
Some amount of deep.
Some
Yeah.
amount of deep.
deep enough that you can
You
get.
need a goddamn boat to run your train across.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair.
Deep enough that you can send pretty
You can
large
navigate
ships
a schooner
up and
through
down
it.
the lake. Yeah. So deep enough to be a problem. In 1888, the bridge finally succumbs to the elements. Then the first barge sinks. So what do they do now?
Build a new barge.
Build a new barge.
Sure, it's my great displeasure to inform you that the bridge will founder.
Yes.
At this point,
The bridge is made iron, sir.
I assure she will. If they just keep going in this fashion, eventually the sunken barges will just begin
They'll
to
pile
pile
up.
up.
Yeah.
They'll just make it a
Piling.
That's why it's called a piling.
Yeah.
Important question then. What happens to the second barge?
It also
sinks.
sinks.
No, actually.
It doesn't
Something
sink.
else catastrophic
floats away
happens to
down
it.
the river.
No, but that's a fun answer.
No?
It's 1888. What else is a big problem?
It burns.
Exactly. So the first one sank into the swamp. The second
How
one
does
burns
something
and
in
then
the
sinks
middle
into
of
the
the
swamp.
water
Third one
catch
gets
fire?
pestilence.
The
Yes.
third one stays up
Okay.
against
For
all
how
odds.
long?
We'll get to that.
Uh-oh.
So the second one lasts, let's see, 88 to 1902. It lasts 14 years. It is
Solid.
It is
solid
it
for,
is
for a train, bridge, boat, barge,
Yeah.
bridge, water, barge,
Monstrosity.
train thing.
Affront to humanity.
The quote that I found was that it was, quote, found to be a fire.
It's a fire when we found it.
Yes, all this ash indicates maybe a fire.
Hey, you know that barge over there? Yeah. Well, I just walked past it.
It's a fire.
It might be on fire.
So this thing, by the way, this thing, like I mentioned, it has a little steam engine in it to
Right.
pull the chain.
Right.
That's not what catches it on fire.
Steam engine?
No.
The train?
No.
Ship?
No.
Arson?
No. It's cold up there.
It's so cold it catches fire?
No. Yes, obviously.
A boat.
They have a stove for heat.
Oh.
And it sets the thing
There's a
alight.
guy that runs.
It was at night. They had a two-man crew during the day, one-man crew at night, and it was found to be a fire. I don't know how it got to be such a large problem on the lake, but
I wonder if
you
the
know,
guy that founded a fire also happened to be the dude that was supposed to be in charge of the steam engine that may have lit a fire. You know?
Wakes up. Ah!
Oh man, it's
We'll
like
get
a
to that.
sauna in here. Wait, what?
Oh, it's so nice and warm.
so they make a third one.
Okay.
It also takes 2 attempts to launch, sort of like the first one, also built in Burlington. They finally tug it down, they get it in place. It has a different cable mechanism. Is the new cable mechanism better?
No.
No, of course
no,
not.
it's worse. It's worse because the original one was 2 spools, a cable to the shoreline, a cable to the bridge pier that it had to line up with.
Okay, so it can either.
Yeah,
then-
because it's
Right.
anchored
it can
on
pull
one
itself
corner.
Either way.
Meanwhile, Bridgie McBridgeface the first is at the bottom.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, come on!
Back? Keep saying that.
Into the bridge!
Now this thing just has 1 spool and 1 chain that goes all the way from the shoreline to the bridge pier with enough slack in it that it sits on the bottom so boats don't run into it. And it just goes around 1 spool, which apparently is more problematic than the first idea of 2 spools because there are now multiple incidents.
Oh god.
In 1905, or sometime after 1905, along comes what?
A boat.
Wind.
A boat. What kind of boat on this lake?
A
Big
large boat.
A large boat? No, actually, many small boats, you might
Oh
say.
god.
A tug
Is it
and a number of barges. Anyone want to guess?
8.
15.
Yeah, 10.
16. 16. 16 barges?
Good God.
Yes.
I thought 15 was
There
ridiculous.
was 16 barges, Connie!
So a tug with 16 barges starts coming at the bridge. They sound for it to open. They get no response. They sound again. They get no response. What's up? The dude is asleep in the cabin. And so they come up to the bridge, and what do?
Push it out of the way.
Yeah, they just nudge it open, and then they go.
Doesn't matter to them. Matters
Yeah.
to the barge and the train, but.
Uh-oh.
Now, about 10 years later, there's a large steamship called the Vermont 3, which
What happened to Vermont 1 and 2?
probably...
Oh, it's down there with the
So
Bridgie McBridgeface.
they are approaching the draw boat, and they sound for it to open. And what's going on in the? No, actually,
They're playing a game?
No one there.
it's windy.
Oh.
It's windy, and he can't. The person running the bridge can't get it open. So the Vermont 3 comes alongside, ties up to, and just nudges the thing open. Notably, these 2 incidents, which may be some of many, start taking a toll on the barge itself. What is happening to the barge?
It's getting a big dent in it.
And therefore,
Leaking.
yes. This thing is beginning to leak a little bit. The pontoons are starting to fill with water. They have to install extra
They
pumps.
have to bail the bridge.
Pumps by your time, but in minutes only.
In 1917, there's an inspection done on the
Stop
bridge.
blowing holes in my bridge!
What is the conclusion of the inspection in 1917?
Shit's fucked.
Yeah.
It's bad.
What is the Rutland do in response?
Fuck all.
Can we build a bridge?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, the railroad.
And that same year, as far as I can tell, we have the defining incident of this bridge, where you have a locomotive, 2 cars, and a passenger car that is crossing the bridge.
Oh no.
What happens next?
The barge
breaks
bridge
free?
misaligns slightly and they derail.
It's sort of.
Wait.
You mentioned it's on multiple pontoons, right?
It's like one big slab. Actually, the third one is narrower than the last 2.
Hold on, Ellis. Does the train on it and then it breaks free and then
No, it doesn't go for a magical mystery tour.
Wait, look at all the scenery, honey.
It's also iced up on the lake at this time.
Okay.
The whole bridge just goes and dumps the train in.
It's like that moment Ed talked about running the big boy where the bridge started to do that, but it didn't stop. Yeah.
Yeah, so the engineer realizes something is up and guns it. The engine makes it across the bridge.
Oh.
The train does not.
train
The train does not. There are 2 boxcars and, like I said, a coach, I believe. And the coach doesn't go in the drink by some miracle and ends up
What?
getting pulled back to the other side. Because it lives on that side of the bridge for a while after this. They had a policy where you weren't supposed to have locomotives on the bridge. You would have one push cars on and another one pull cars off. But you still have to sort of get on the bridge for this. It dumps these 2 boxcars into the ice. One of them is filled with wood. So what
That
happens to it?
sounds like a very suspicious wood.
It just
Wood.
it sits there. It doesn't go very far. The other one is either filled with paper or allegedly, because it's Vermont, full of marble.
Oh.
Wait.
So it doesn't float.
It goes.
It goes down. To down periscope.
Some say the boxcar is still down there today.
No,
She's
it's
full
not.
of marbles,
not.
sir. I assure you she's
Oh, did they recover this goddamn boxcar?
Yes.
Oh my
But
god!
not before. This was a Canadian National Railways, or whatever their predecessor was at the time, boxcar. They paid it off and they paid for the load. The Rutland was like, "Yeah, we dropped your thing in the drink. Sorry, here's some money."
Sorry, it happens when you have a barge.
$20 go
What the
buy
hell's
ice
that
cream.
marble?
But mysteriously, there appears on the Rutland Railroad roster a singular boxcar matching the description of this one down in the drink.
What is the description of this boxcar? Soggy?
Damn.
It is
leaking.
You can actually
heavy.
get an HO scale model of these. They make them. It's
They
like
make a model of the sunken boxcar?
I want
Does
to
it come
remember.
on its side?
I want to remember what the number was, but
You
it's
open
like
the door and fish come
3999.
out.
It's like 3999 or something, and it's again, it was a unique car in the Rutland, so it's not like they ordered this thing. So put 2 and 2 together. So this is again the defining incident of the bridge. Then what does the Rutland do?
Nothing.
Nothing. They keep
Absolutely
going.
goddamn
Yeah,
nothing.
they fix the bridge and they keep using it. They use it into the 20s. At one point, there's a double header with a snowplow
On the bridge
no.
that they're not supposed to have
Yeah.
locomotives.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
they leave one engine behind. They send the one locomotive with the snowplow across the bridge. What happens?
It misaligns, they
Blah,
derail.
blah,
and
blah, blah,
In
blah,
what
blah, blah, blah.
direction does it
Oh.
misalign?
Oh no.
That's a good.
They get on
Yaw.
the bridge, and then the
No.
bridge does a thing, and then a thing, and then they not align with the other thing.
We're not supposed to be
Tenders
plowing
in the
wood.
dirt on the bridge
Yeah.
is in the dirt on the bridge.
the
But
wet.
the engine and the snowplow are probably on the track, but now they're not aligned with the other end of the bridge, and they go into the other end of the bridge.
Yeah, so according to the report, it drops the bridge about 2.5 feet with this consist on it. And then they get to the other end with the plow, and the plow just starts plowing.
You see what you've made there is a bulldozer.
Sorry, the track's not clear up ahead. It's got track in it.
All right. Who let Marvin He-Mayer at the controls?
Lawnmower.
Come on.
Lawnmower.
The thing that I've failed to mention is that the connection is just like these two hinged bits that fold down and sit on the bridge track.
No.
So when the bridge goes down, they do this.
Porterfield. Yeah.
Allegedly, another incident where a locomotive broke through and just went poof into the lake.
It's like one of those roller coaster drop tracks.
Yeah.
The roller coaster pulls out onto it and just goes, like the whole track. With
Insult
Yeah,
to injury. The locomotive comes out, goes down through the barge, presumably, and then the barge comes down on top of it.
Yeah. So eventually they were fed up with this thing. Traffic was drying up. The Addison branch was increasingly difficult to run because a lot of it was marshy. And
Really? Wow, it was difficult to run.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
With the barge, bridge, boat, train, track, bridge, mainline, bridge, boat,
So they
barge.
finally give up on
Donkey.
this thing in 1923, and they intentionally sink it in place.
Wait.
then-
This raises the question of this whole time.
Yeah.
This whole time, was the guy operating the bridge referred to as a captain?
You're a poor captain, but a captain nonetheless.
It's the worst captain I've ever seen. Well, and then what happens?
Does it not
just
stay
broke
sunk?
down.
It doesn't stay sunk.
What? How does it not stay sunk?
Someone for some reason raises this thing, raises this thing,
A
and
ship
uses
with
it.
black sails. No, it can't be. I've seen it. A ship, a barge, a train barge with black sails.
Does it carry up the sunken locomotive with it? It's just like, oh look, it brought us a present.
And allegedly it becomes like a dock or something, but the best possible answer that I've seen is it becomes a barge / ferry. So it still it goes back into
Still is a
service,
barge!
bringing things across the lake. It just doesn't stay in one spot
place.
anymore.
I'm glad. That's the happy ending for this bridge.
Yeah, so
Bridge,
that's-
barge,
But Bodie
Bridge, barge,
McBoatface the
barge,
first
bridge.
is still down
bridge,
there.
barge,
There
boat,
is-
donkey, rail, donkey, boat, bridge, barge,
Captain.
bridge.
Bonk.
There were surveys done to try and find the original Hulk. The first one is still down there. The third one is somewhere under the lake. The second one, we don't know if it sunk or what.
It's in some guy's backyard.
Yeah,
It burned again.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the story of the Addison Branch barge bridge, the draw boat.
The draw, boat, bridge,
Barge,
bridge, train, donkey,
Donkey.
captain,
Donkey.
McHaggis knuckle, donkey,
McHaggis
barge,
Barge, bridge.
train, barge,
Soggy boxcar.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I don't have anything else to add to that. You guys
What
got
is
it nailed.
wrong with that railroad?
Wrong with New England.
Wait, just this bridge was out of service by the 20s, right?
Yeah.
So they had fairly big motive power by that
No, they
point.
didn't.
What?
The Addison Branch was just like all 440s.
440. Okay.
When
Then I was getting excited that one of the big green 482s
God, no.
went across it.
That would be the punch through.
We need to look in the bottom of this river for engines that we can restore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fun part of it is when they cut off the Addison Branch, there was a little cut leading up to the end of the bridge. They just put a roof on it and called it an engine house.
There you go. That's the house.
This is the engine cave.
This is the engine
engine
cave,
cave.
and it's the other road, and there's nothing ever beyond it. Mm-hmm. Anyways, folks, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Somebody won again.
Somebody won.
I will figure it out.
Congratulations to whoever won.
Highlight him in red.
Cheers to you.
Yeah, that. And that's the end of season 3.5. Thank you all for watching.
And thank you for having me.
I'll be back.
Maybe Leighton Moreland will show up for one of these again.
You know, I'd like to meet him someday.
That would be nice, yeah.
I have my own channel. We do things on there. Trains things sometimes, and sometimes a podcast. I also have steam locomotive trading cards on my website that may or may not be sold out, so check it out.
I have a Twitch channel. Give me money.
Also that. And there's definitely been at least 2 videos that have appeared on his channel, Ellis's channel, that I've been in that never showed up anywhere else.
Oh yeah, the locomotion videos.
I never posted those. So, yeah, if you want some more fun action, always love your people.
There you
Till
go.
next time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching the show and enjoying it, and you felt the need to have some mystery citrus of yourself, we have a lot of mystery citrus, and you can buy it now over on the Heist website, and I can guarantee you that literally all of these have been touched by me.
Oh no!
Yep! Thanks for watching!